Hello there! My name is Bia. I am the artist of Tinkalila Arts. Today I am sharing with you 5 tips to improve your digital art instantly. Number 1 is to use a bigger canvas. Unless you're making pixel art, there is no reason for you to be staring at huge, blocky pixels every time you zoom in a little to work on a detail. This is just confusing for you. If you're noticing a lot of errors in your work when you zoom out, you should definitely start working on a bigger canvas. A canvas that's too small will be difficult to work on and won't look good if it needs to be displayed large or printed. When we create digital art, one of the great things we can do is zoom in to make small adjustments and add a little or erase a little. You're not making full use of this functionality if your canvas isn't large enough. When you work on a very large canvas and zoom in to fix details, you can even get away with leaving small errors there because when you zoom out, they will be so small that they won't be displayed and no one will be able to see them. If you want to make sure that no one sees them, just reduce the image size after you're done with the drawing to eliminate these small errors altogether. The canvas size that you can use may be limited by your hardware and your program. Generally, I would say that your work should be at least 2,000 pixels square, if not larger. Number 2 is to pull up a reference next to your workspace. A great benefit of computers as well as iPads is multitasking. You can have multiple windows or views open at the same time on the same screen. You should take advantage of this to display your reference image right next to the window with your drawing program. You can even adjust the size of your reference image so that it appears the same size as what you're drawing, making it super easy to compare and adjust. To do this on a computer, make sure your drawing program is in a windowed view. On an iPad, open your drawing app, and you can swipe up from the bottom of the screen and then drag and drop in a view of another app displaying your reference image. You can adjust the amount of the screen that each of these views takes up on your screen. I like to pull up my reference image on the left side because I'm right-handed and I want to be able to see it and not have my hand hovering over it. I let it take up approximately a third of the screen space and I glance over at it frequently while I'm drawing. Number 3 is to use layer effects for lighting and shading. While you should definitely study colors and look at references to learn how to shade, using layer effects can be a really effective trick. Without knowing much at all about how to select good colors yourself, your art program can effectively do it for you. Overlay and multiply layers are often good for darkening the image, while add and different types of light layers can be good for creating highlights. A common trick is to use a light purple color on a multiply layer for shading. It creates good-looking shadows that are usually more convincing and aesthetically pleasing than using semi-transparent black on a normal layer or black on an overlay layer. I really recommend just playing around with layers yourself, trying them all out with different colors clipped on top of other layers, and seeing what you like. Number 4 is to color your lines. Your first thought when creating digital art may be to create line art outlining your drawing, and the most common color people gravitate towards for this is black. But you have to keep in mind, this black color that you've used for the lines is now part of the color scheme for this drawing, and if it doesn't work with the aesthetic you're going for, then it will stick out and make your drawing look amateurish. For example, if you like to use muted pastels, but your line art is pitch black, you could be taking away from your art. To change the color of your line art, it's as simple as filling a layer with the new color you've chosen and clipping it to your line art layer. Most people will still choose to stick with a darker color, like a dark magenta for example, or a deep green. But in certain situations, extremely vibrant and saturated line art may fit best, or even pastel or white line art. Some artists may choose to color different lines in different colors within the same drawing. This can totally transform the look of your drawing, and I recommend trying out lots of different colors for your line art in every drawing. Finding the right one is absolutely worth it. Finally, number 5 is to outline the entire figure of your drawing. This means that the lines of your drawing are still there, and outside of all of that is another line going around everything else. This outline is usually in a lighter color like white. This is a pretty specific tip and will not work with every drawing, but a lot of popular artists use this technique, especially when drawing singular objects or foods, to make the drawing pop a little more, as well as look a little more polished and cohesive and put together. This is really easy to do in some programs, such as Metabang Paint Pro, where you just make a selection and then click Draw Selection Border, and the program will draw a border around your image for you. However, Procreate, which is a really commonly used program, has not implemented this functionality yet. It's not a feature in that app, although you can find workarounds. If you guys would be interested in finding out how I solve this problem in Procreate, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video about it. Those are 5 tips to improve your digital art instantly. Let me know in the comments which tip was your favorite, and do you have any tips for your fellow artists in the comments? Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Tinkalila. See you next time. Bye!